Hello and welcome to the Business Underground. I am your conductor, Soroya Van Horn, where we use this platform to highlight the business owners. Those are the entrepreneurs, the investors, the motivators, the teachers, the preachers, the coaches, the mentors, and let's not forget the disruptors, those that are shaking things up, all in the name of business ownership. Today, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Miss Katrina Martin. Welcome, Katrina.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, Soraya.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So you're joining us from the cold city of Detroit.
Yes, yes.
How chilly has it gotten there?
It's not too bad, actually. We can tell there's some global warming happening. We just got snow for the first time this past week. So,
Awesome, awesome. You're in the same boat I am here in Indianapolis. We got our first dusting of snow, and
yes,
yeah, it was a welcome actually. It's that time
it
of
was.
season. Exactly, yeah. So let's dive in here. You are one of our experts and a needed partner as we talk about business ownership and businesses needing some core items, meaning insurance, accounting, legal, and
Mhm.
banking system. You come in as that accounting expert. So give us a highlight of what you do to serve and protect
Yeah,
clients.
definitely. So I have an accounting firm, full service accounting firm here based out of Michigan. We specialize in the full gamut, tax planning, business advisory services. We do payroll support. I'm an enrolled agent, so similar to a CPA, I represent clients before the IRS and help reduce tax liabilities. We do tax preparation, so we cover the full service
Mhm.
bookkeeping services. I think one of our biggest services is just providing a full service CFO service
Mhm.
where you get front to end support from the advisory piece to the optimization piece to the maintenance piece to the planning, and then finally the compliance, which is the tax preparation, where a lot of people just focus on the compliance piece, and I think that's where a lot of businesses go off track and start to realize, why am I paying so much every year? Because you just have to do that planning throughout the year. The compliance piece is just the IRS piece to substantiate that you've done your legal requirement. But as far as the maintenance and making sure that your business is growing and bringing in the profits that you want, you need to have you have to have your eyes on the numbers at all times.
Awesome, awesome. And I just want to highlight again the EA for the enrolled agent. Again, that differentiator for you is that you can represent clients at the IRS level. Is that correct?
Yes, the enrolled agent. I specialize in all tax laws,
Hmm.
taxation. So meaning that if clients owe the IRS or they're being audited by the IRS, I can act as power of attorney for them and speak on
Awesome.
their behalf.
Fantastic. I want our listeners, what I call our game changers, to really hear that part as they are seeking out the right partner to work with. In other words, business owners, they can spend their money with anyone. So we encourage them to truly vet who they work with. And that's why we would like to, again, to highlight you as one of our trusted partners and to make sure that individuals are, again, vetting where they spend their money and
Yes.
to get the right person up front because once you get in midstream and have to switch up, it's,
It's hard.
money and you got accounting all over again. That's can be a waste of time. Talk
Yes.
about some of the clients that have come to you in that type of a situation where maybe they've jumped ship from someone that didn't serve them properly.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just one of the things that I've done, I've just talked to recently. A lot of people are, the first thing that they'll say when we reach out is, "I have a CPA," and most people do, and then when I start to say, well, let me review your financial statements, review your most recent tax returns, and then when I see things, usually what that statement means to me after a while, it used to mean, oh, I have a partner that I'm working with and we're making sure that my business is on track and making sure that we're about to hit our goals. That's not what most people mean when they say that. That means that they file their taxes with someone. And and saying that, that just means that you're checking the box every year, but actually having a partner that you meet with at least quarterly at a minimum. Some clients we
Mhm.
meet with monthly, some clients we meet with quarterly. If I'm only seeing you once a year, everything's been done. We're just reporting what happened at that point.
Mhm.
And typically, if it's at tax filing time, the year's already closed out. So there's very few changes that we can make. Everything's been done. But if we're
Mhm.
meeting throughout the year, we can make strategy, use actual tax planning strategies. Maybe we can recommend hiring your kids. Maybe we can recommend switching your entity structure to put you into a better tax bracket.
Mhm.
Maybe we can talk about renting your business out to your home out to your business. Maybe we can talk about some accountable plans where you can reimburse yourself or your employees, or just even hiring employees, what that process looks like and how the tax strategies and what the savings look like with that. So just being able to know real time what's happening in your business, look at the financials. One of the things that we just did with a new CFO client is we did his business insights report to show him year over year what he's making, what's his what's his top 10 expenses. We all usually payroll is the biggest one,
Mhm.
and then also what's happening in his business quarter by quarter, where are the peaks happening, where are the dips happening, so you can plan accordingly with your staffing and all the other things that go with it.
That's awesome. It is my pleasure, truly, Katrina, to highlight you of Wild Tax and Advisory Services. And those nuggets you just dropped were what we need to hear. So let me send you back again with, say, our new entrepreneurs that are, they've just registered their name with the Secretary of State. They are assuming LLC. Can you speak a little bit between the choices of LLC versus an S corp? Because there are a lot of gurus out here that are leading them left and right, and
Yes.
I want them to understand the implications of those type choices as they're starting out.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, an LLC, simply put, is something that I recommend all business owners have. It's
Hmm.
the lowest hanging fruit for protection. It gives you liability protection. So, what that affords you, if somebody sues your business with your LLC, they can
Hmm.
only attach to things that are included in that LLC. It doesn't impact your personal property, your personal assets. So it adds that level of protection for your personal assets. Now, it doesn't add any tax savings. An LLC does not add any tax strategy, savings, or anything. It just it limits your liability for protecting your personal assets. However, you can elect to have that LLC tax, just say as an S corp, a C corp, or a nonprofit, right?
Hmm.
But what I do find a lot, and you're absolutely right, everybody's like elect to be an S corp. A new business going out the gate does not need to be an S
Hmm.
corp. An S corp comes with additional tax. It comes with tax savings, but at a certain income level for a business. I usually recommended about $65,000 net annually that you're bringing in, because before that, the LLC just works fine on your personal tax return as a single member LLC. Unless you're a partnership, that works. Single member LLC works fine. S
Hmm.
corp, what it does do is allows you to get rid of that self employment
Okay.
you're paying. But when you're a new business and you're making under $50,000, you typically don't have any self employment tax
Hmm.
because your expenses kind of equal
Right.
out. So you don't, it's not the costs that go along with having an S corp or a C corp means, as a new business owner, you're gonna need to add bookkeeping services in, because then you need to have ready financial statements
Right.
to go along with it. You're also going to need to go on payroll, so those additional costs don't typically make sense until you've hit about $65,000 net in your
Mhm.
business.
Awesome, awesome, and I appreciate you breaking it down because I'm in a lot of rooms and you'll
Absolutely.
hear, yeah, experts, advising entrepreneurs on which way to go and thinking that they know, but that dollar amount matters. So
It
when you said
does.
about 65K range consistently, okay, so yeah, so that's good nuggets there for sure. So let's talk about compliance again. My lane is truly helping that business owner to understand what the federal government buys, and they
Yes.
buy everything. So when we talk about compliance, that's one of the key items that
Mhm.
keeps some game changers away from the table because they can't make the mark. So let's get into compliance as it relates to your lane and helping individuals stay safe.
Yes, absolutely. Those in the government space, and we talked a little bit about this, need a lot of times if you're doing any government contracting, they're going to want to see DCAA accounting. It's not a particular software or anything. It's still using our same software platforms that we use. It's just the actual way that you're recording your chart of accounts in a lot of ways. Are you tracking by project? Are you tracking by assignment? Are you tracking? It's just the tracking how the methodology that you're using that's really going to play a part in that. And anytime your financial statements are audited for a government contract, they're going to want to see this type of layout in your financial statement. So that's basically what it aligns with. So whenever whenever you're doing government contracting for your fight, whoever's doing your bookkeeping, our firm does it as well. You're going to want to make sure that they understand how that compliance requirement and make sure that they are familiar with actually utilizing that, because you're going to want to make sure that that's actually done on your reports, even if the bookkeeper is not going to be auditing, because this is one of the things I talk about too, is the person that audits your record shouldn't be the one doing the monthly maintenance on it.
That part.
You don't want the
Yeah.
chef judging their own cooking, right?
Right.
And
Exactly.
so you need to have a different person that does that, but you want to make sure that person that's actually doing the work does understand what the outcome needs to be.
Awesome. Awesome. Who's your ideal client?
My ideal client are business owners who are pretty. We do startups. We do startups to exit planning, right? So there's really no ideal start place in business. So we
Mhm.
do from start to finish. But what I do love to see are business owners who are ready to really grow the business or have a plan
Mhm.
on exiting the business. So they really are very keen on and ready to work and have some, at least get
Mhm.
the do things the right way and be very proactive. We love proactive business owners. A lot of times, what we find, especially on the representation side, whenever we're having a client that hasn't paid taxes in years, or they're out of compliance with the IRS, maybe they have a lien or something along
Mhm.
those lines. What we find a lot of times are business owners who started to see these huge tax liabilities over at least 2 or 3 years, and then they just fall out of compliance.
Mm.
So what we try to do is have you avoid that happen, because history repeats itself all the
Right.
time, right? So
Exactly.
what we try to do is knowing that before that happens, we put some plans in place for you to make sure that you're always compliant, but you're always never overpaying in taxes, and that you're using some strategies in your business
Mhm.
to keep the money in the business wherever possible.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Well, I love that you said when you first started that you meet with your clients more than just that, one time a year. And that's so important that, again, small businesses, you can spend your money anywhere, but you want to have that relationship where you can contact your advisor and have them contact you about, tax planning strategies, write-offs, things of that nature. And that's so important to know that you have a trusted partner, and the things that you don't know is what gets you in trouble.
Absolutely. And we have a full year plan built out that has everything that happens in that year out for our clients. Some people we meet with monthly, some people we meet with quarterly, but we do an onboarding meeting with all
Mhm.
clients to talk about their goals, what they expect from us,
Mhm.
what our timeline of our engagement's going to look like. We have quarterly meetings where I talk about different things. We just did it in December. We did an end of year
Mm.
workshop where we talked about all the new things that are happening this year, including maybe your listeners have heard about the Compliancy Act, which is with the FinCEN, the Federal Crimes Network, not
Mhm.
IRS associated, but FinCEN associated.
Mhm.
It's called the BOI reporting, the Beneficial Ownership Information Act, where
Mm.
everybody who has an LLC, an S corp, a C corp, a trust, a nonprofit, well, not nonprofits,
Mhm.
but anybody who has those credentials that have filed with the state are going to, and it could be nonprofits. There's a few
Mhm.
exceptions, but not
Okay.
many. But any people who filed for LLC with whatever their Secretary of
Mhm.
State is, you're going to need to file a yearly report with FinCEN to say this is the company and this is the owner of that, the beneficial owner of that, who has more than 25% ownership rights.
Mhm.
Anytime you have a change with that company, you have 30 days to report it up to FinCEN or deal with fines.
Mhm.
It launched January 1st of this year.
Mhm.
If you had an LLC that went into place before January 1st this year, you have a year to submit that report. If you start any LLCs after January 1st this year, you have 30 days to report it to FinCEN.
Wow, that is good information, most definitely. I appreciate that.
No
When
problem.
you, yeah, that's sweet. So let me go back to your when you said that when your clients come to you, one of the things that you talk to them about is succession planning or exit planning.
Mhm.
What do you advise them when they're coming in the door? I know as a business, when you start up, you normally do not think about an exit plan, but that is so important. If you have a viable business that another investor can purchase, a lot of times small entrepreneurs are pitching, and you have to be prepared to pitch and accept that offer. So, what do you advise them regarding that exit plan?
Yeah, so I find out what their goals are. If the goal is to hand it down to a family member, what's the plan on that, right? Or if the goal is to actually sell it in the market space, what's the plan on that? Because either one of those things means either we need to be bringing that family member into the business to
Mhm,
have a better understanding of what their role is going to be, so they don't get it tossed in their lap later on.
mhm,
Or if it's actually going to be building the valuation up of the business so you can sell it for the most amount of money, let's put a 5 to 10 year or whatever goal that deadline is, a
mhm,
plan in a place to make sure that those numbers are intact, because we already know what they're going to be, what a buyer is going to be looking for in the business. And a lot of times that means removing that owner out of just primary role, because if we can, the business that needs to sell means it needs to have systems in place.
right,
It needs to, because people are buying your system, they're buying those things, they're buying your branding and your systems. And so you definitely need to button all of those things up. So we just help make sure that you have all of those things in place, make sure your financials are in the right place, make sure that the number that you want to get, we know what number we need to have in your
mhm,
business and how much recurring revenue you're going to need to have, because most buyers are going to want to see recurring revenue and what the lifetime value of your customers are.
right. Awesome, awesome. Katrina, tell us how we can get in touch with you. How can the listener get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can go to my website, www.katrinalmartin.com, or
Mhm.
you can hit us up on our email at hello at wow advisory firm.com. That's hello at wow advisory firm.com. Or you can just check on like I said, my website, katrinalmartin.com.
Awesome, awesome. Well, it's been my pleasure to shine the light on your business,
Thank you
on the
so much.
business
It's been my
underground.
pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you for all that you do. I appreciate